what's up you guys? I know I promised you guys a vlog, but I had a way more interesting video to make, which is this. It's a story time, because something happened recently and I'm going to tell a story about it, so you guys know it's fucking creepy. So, let's start. Story time! The time a creepy fan came to my house. Let's go. So this story starts at my friend's house, the house I'm at now, because this was yesterday, this story time. It was that recent. So I had lost my phone, and I was out looking for it, and I was out here, and it was at night, and I was looking for it, and I didn't know what was going on, and I couldn't find it, and I finally found it in the big bag chair, squished all the way down, and it was folded up and covered, and I didn't know it was there. So I finally found it, and I have a couple missed calls, so I called the people back, and there was this one unknown number. And I was like, well, who's that? If they call back, I have to answer. I thought it could have been my dad, like, in jail or something. The unknown caller called back. I answered, and I'm like, hello? And the person's like, hi, it's like, he had a creepy voice. I can't really describe it. He's like, hi, is this Michael? And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, who is this? And he's like, my name's David. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. And he's like, you don't need to. Just know I'm a very good friend. No lie. That is what he said. No lie. Not even kidding. Said it exactly like that, but like 10 times creepier. And then suddenly he says, just randomly out of the blue, are your puppies for sale? And I'm like, no. Where'd you hear I had puppies for sale? And he's like, I'm on your front porch. I'm looking at them right now. And I was like, no, the puppies aren't for sale. Just staying calm, trying not to react badly. And he's like, hey, is that dragon hanging from your ceiling for sale? And I'm like, no. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because it's a family heirloom. And yes, I do have a dragon hanging from my ceiling. So, there's this creepy guy saying he was on my front porch. He's like, how much you want for it? I'm like, it's not for sale. And then I hung up. Then, after that, I was really freaked out. I was shaking. I was scared shitless. Like, no joke. Like, I was so freaking scared. I was running around this house. I was like, someone's at my house. Someone's staying on my porch. I was thinking it was a YouTube stalker, because someone said in one of my comments, they're like, I live in Florida, and if somebody doesn't kill this kid, I'm going to kill him myself. So I'm like, oh, shoot. Someone actually did what they said they were going to do online. That's really weird. So, basically, I call my grandma because she's at the house. I'm not at the house right now. I'm like, Grandma, there's some guy saying he's on the front porch looking at the puppies. And he wants to know if the dragon's for sale, and I have no clue who it is, and he has a really creepy voice. But the reception's so bad out here, she didn't hear a single word. She's like, what? And then, like, she got up, and I guess she got up, and she went outside to look, see what was happening, and then she hung up. I was like, crap, something could have happened to my grandma. I don't know what's going on. I didn't hear anybody in the background with the voices, so I didn't know. So basically, the next thing I do is I call the cops. And I'm in Marion County right now. I live in Citrus County. They're like, hello, what is the address for your emergency? And I just explained what happened first. And I was like, yeah, I told them the whole story about the guy and my grandma. And they're like, okay, well, I'm going to transfer you to Citrus County Sheriff. So I did. And I told them to send somebody if she didn't answer and they whatever. So after that, my mom called me. She's like, what's going on? You have the cops on the phone with Grandma Renee. And I'm like, well, Mom, someone said they were outside. I called Renee saying someone was outside that I didn't know who it was, and she's like, well, you got the cops on the phone with Renee and all that stuff. I was like, well, they said that there was puppies on the porch, and we have puppies, and they spotted out the dragon in our house, the one hanging from the ceiling, and Mom's like, oh, well, no one's in the yard. We're outside looking right now. No one's in the yard. No one's on the porch. I was like, okay. I just left it be, and then the guy calls me back. He's like, I'm outside right now. Do you mind telling me which one of these windows is yours? And I'm like, now he's wondering where my window is, and I was like, actually, I'm not home right now, so it really wouldn't matter. That's what I said. And he's like, it's like he wasn't even focused on what I said. He's like, "Now, do you mind telling me which one of these windows yours?" And I was like, "No, I'm sorry." And then I hung up. And then I called my mom and I was like, "Mom, the dude's looking from my window. He wants to know which one's mine. He's trying to basically find me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who this guy is. And he sounds really creepy." And he's like, "No, Grandma just checked all the cars for some person that wasn't there." She's like, "Someone's probably just playing a prank on you. They saw your pictures on Facebook in the background of our Christmas photos and they're playing a prank on you." I'm like, "Okay, that makes sense." So I'm like, "Okay, I love you, Mom. Bye." So this unknown caller guy calls me back and he's like, "Hey, is this Michael?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I want to FaceTime you." And I'm like, I can't really right now. I'm really busy," which I wasn't. I was standing in the room with my speakerphone on with my friends. So he's like, "I want to FaceTime you." So basically, he FaceTime called me and I ended it. And I was like, "No, I'm busy." And he was like, "Come on, just answer it." And I'm like, "No, I can't." And this went on for like 2 or 3 minutes of him begging me to FaceTime him. So finally I hung up and I FaceTime the guy. He answers and he's in the dark. He's in complete dark, like he's outside. And I'm like, "Hello?" And he's like, "Is this Michael?" And I'm like, "Yep, it's me." But I had the camera not facing on me. I had it facing on the bed so it was dark because I didn't want the dude to see my face. So he's like, "I'm outside your house right now." And I'm like, "Nah, I know you're not because my grandma's out there right now looking." He's like, "I'm standing outside right now, I promise you." And I'm like, "No, you're not. And if you are, my grandma's gonna find you, or at least the cops, because I already called the cops. I know this is probably a prank. You probably saw my Facebook photos on Facebook. And I said, if this is a prank, it was a good one. You scared the shit out of me." And then the guy laughs. He's like, "Ha ha ha." I was like, "Now who is this?" He's like, I heard in the background, "Yo, what's up, Michael?" And I was like, "That's Jason." And I'm like, "Wait, who's this?" And he's like, "It's Hunter. We pranked you. We did the same thing to Courtney. Courtney's a friend of ours." And I was like, "Shit, you scared the shit out of me. I called the cops." And we just busted out laughing, and I was screaming because I was like so unterrified, but I was still shaking. And he's like, "Dude, did you really call the cops?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I thought there was someone outside my house. I was in fear of my family's safety." And he's like, "Really, dude?" And I was like, "Yeah, now they're calling me back. I gotta go and tell them it was a false alarm." And they're like, "Okay, I'm sorry, dude. I'll call you back later. I'll text you." So yeah, that was the story of me getting pranked. I was terrified because I have quite a lot of views on YouTube and a lot of people know my personal information, so I was just scared as crap. So, yeah. Last night, I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. I was worried for my family's safety because I wasn't there. I thought my grandma could have been the only one there. She could have got hurt, even though she could totally kick some butt. Grandma, you kick butt if you're watching this. You kick some serious butt. Anyway, I hope you like this story time. It was scary. But I love you guys. Stay gorgeous, stay weird. I hope you like this video. If you do, like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I love you guys. Stay gorgeous, stay weird.